Swan, Iwate Swan, Iwate Swan.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Iwate Swan. So, last night I had the good pleasure of attending a Obon Festival, which was just 30 seconds away from my house in the nearby park. And if you're not familiar with what kind of festival that is, it's an annual festival that takes place at different times in Japan. Sometimes it takes place in July, sometimes in August, and sometimes in other months. But anyways, it's a festival that's about honoring your dead ancestors. And usually people will go back to where their families are from and they will go there to celebrate. Yeah, we had one. It was last night and it was just a few feet away from where I was. I could hear the music when I was at home eating some sushi, and I was wondering what's going on. So I went outside and I saw they had a giant kind of scaffold set up and lanterns were being strung up. So I knew that later on that night probably something would be going on. And sure enough, when the music started, more and more people started to trickle into the park. So when I arrived at the park, they had police officers positioned at all the entrances, and when you got in, they would give you this little fan which you could kind of hit to the beat of the taiko drum that was being played atop the scaffold. So at first there weren't that many people there, it was still light out, but once it started to get dark, all of the lanterns were lit up, which was really cool looking, and more people started to trickle in. So I went around to kind of see what was there, and since this is a very small section of town, there really wasn't much to see other than the giant scaffold, but all of the people would get in a circle around this and they would dance to this very traditional Japanese music. And they all had different moves, and they would swing their arms in a certain way to the rhythm. So that was really cool to watch. I got some other goodies at the little festival. One older man was handing out these fans, so that was fun. Nice little traditional fan right there. And then they had a few little vendors there, and one of them was giving away free toys. I had a little conversation. It was an elder couple, and I had a conversation with them. And they said I could pick out one free toy, so I picked out the kendama, which is you try to get the ball, it's on a string, try to get it, landed in the little cup. I'm no good at these, but the lady was really nice, and then she said I could have an extra free toy, so I got a dreidel as well. So yes, I had free toys, and then next to them there was another kind of elder couple, and they were selling these little things, and these were 50 yen each, so about 50 cents, and if you hit them, then they light up. So there were a bunch of kids dressed up in their traditional yukata, and they were waving these around, and they had toys and fans, and they were running around like crazy. After the festival, I returned home, and just a minute later my doorbell rang, so I went to go get it, and it was my neighbor from across the street, and he's also a teacher at the Board of Education here at Hanamaki, and so he invited me over, which was really nice, and we had a few drinks and had some snacks, so that was really cool, starting to meet more people in the neighborhood. These are all teachers that actually live in these houses near me, or at least most of these houses, so we all work at the same place, which is kind of interesting. But yes, so it was a lot of good fun, very Japanese experience, I really enjoyed it. Something that might not be as readily available in the bigger cities like Tokyo, but for someone living here in the inaka, in the country, it's certainly a very traditional site that was very fun to take place in. So, alright, I think that wraps it up for this week's episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, we'll see you next time.